Chapter 9, Area, Perimeter and Volume. On Wednesday, we looked at the area of rectangles and triangles and the relationship between both. Your classwork was question 1 and 3, which was corrected in class, and some of you were able to get on to question 8 and 12, which was manipulating the questions. I would like you to turn to page 198, where we're going to look at example 1, which I never did with you, and example 3 on page 199. Okay. So, in this question, you have an odd shape. It is made up essentially of two rectangles. So, I'm trying to calculate the area of this entire shape. The key thing to do with it is split up the shape into smaller shapes, get the area and add them together to get the overall area. So with this shape, if I split this shape into two rectangles, okay, so I have one rectangle on the left and one rectangle on the right. I'm just going to call them A and B. Okay, I can get the area of the small rectangle and I can get the area of the big rectangle. And to get the total area, I'll just add both areas together. I'll demonstrate. So on Wednesday, we looked at the area of a rectangle being the length by the width. For this question, the area of A will be 6 by 4, which is 24, and that's meters squared. For B, the area of B, now, although I'm doing the side B, so that was area of A, and of B is what I'm doing now. I'm still getting the area. The formula is still A is equal to the length by the width. The length of it is 7. The width of it is 12. When you multiply 7 by 12 or 12 by 7, you're getting 84 meters squared. So I've got the area of the small one and I've got the area of the big one. To get the total, we'll add them together. That means I'm adding the 24 and the 84 and I'm getting 108 meters squared. So the key learning with this is if you've an odd shape, you need to split up the shape into smaller shapes. What's missing there is get each area, okay, and add them together to get the overall area. So in this example, the overall area is 108 meters squared. So today we're going to be looking at questions where you're going to have to split up the shape, get the area of each one, and then add them together to get the total area. In example 3, you have been given the area, you've been given a triangle. This is on page 199 and it's example 3. You've been given a triangle POQ and you are told that the area in this question is 14 centimeters squared. You were told that the base is 7 centimeters and you don't know what the height is. So in this question, you're given an area and you're asked to find the side. Again, the key thing with this is always write out the formula and then simplify it. And you're going to use the same logic for any shape that you've been given the answer to. And you have to find the side. So whether it is a rectangle or a square or any other shape, if you've been given the answer and you have to work backwards to find a side or a length, you write out the formula. So on Wednesday, we looked at the area of a rectangle or area of a triangle being the same as a rectangle, only half of the size. Okay, so we saw that the last day. Okay, so it's half the base by the height. So always write out the formula and simplify it. We're going to simplify it by subbing in what we have. Subbing in means putting in the numbers that we have. A half will stay as it is. The base of this question is 7. The height of this question, I don't know. I'm going to leave it with the letter H. But what I do know about this question is I do have the answer to this. Instead of just writing A for area, the area of this question is 14. Okay, I do know that. Now, as you can see on the right hand side, I have a fraction. So on the left hand side, make a fraction. Okay, this is going back to the fractions topic. You're going to cross multiply. to remove the fraction. You only have to do this if there is a fraction in the question. You do not have to cross multiply if there is no fraction on one of the sides. By cross multiplying, what I mean by this is you're going to multiply 1 by 1, which is 1, by 7 by h. So 1 by 1 is 1, 1 by 7 is 7, 7 by h is 7h. And when I cross in the opposite direction, it's going to be 2 multiplied by 14. And 2 by 14 is 28. Okay, so I have 7h is equal to 28. These two items have been multiplied. The opposite to multiply is divide. So to get rid of the 7, which has been multiplied, the opposite is divide. Okay, so to get the value of h, 28 divided by 7 is 4. So the height of this question is 4 centimeters. So just going back through the basics. In some questions, you'll be given the answer. What you should do with the shape is always write out the formula. So I did. And then simplify it. By simplifying, you're subbing in the numbers you've been given. So I was given that the area was 14. Half is part of the actual formula, so that goes in every time. The base of this question is 7, and the height of this question is h. And because we have a fraction on the right hand side, we need to make the left hand side a fraction. That's why that 14 goes over 1. And to get rid of fractions, we cross multiply to remove the fraction. So the 2 by the 14 is 28. The 1 by 1 is 1, by 7 is 7, by 7 by h is 7h. So you're left with 7h is equal to 28. And to get h on its own, all you're doing is dividing. So it's going back to a little bit of algebra there. Okay, so now that I've looked at the two examples that we hadn't seen before, some of you are going to move on and you're going to start doing a few questions today. So the aim of today is to start using practical examples. I want you to do question 8, question 11, question 12. So you can see these are the shapes being split up, okay? This is when you've been given the area, you have to calculate another side. This is calculating the area of a triangle. And finally, we'll just be able to read diagrams and calculate the area of each of these four using, I had question 15 highlighted, question 15. So I'm just going to highlight those to you in the copy, and you can start on these now, and we'll go to our live class and I'll start correcting these shortly. So on page 202, you're going to do question 8. On page 203, you're going to do question 11 and 12. Now, I know some people have question 12 done, and that's brilliant. So at the minute, you just have 8 and 11. And finally, on page 204, we're going to do question 15. So at this stage, we've done the basics of getting the area of triangles and rectangles, and now we're starting applying them to a little bit harder questions. Okay, so this is what I want to get done during today's class. Some of you I know will finish early, and if that's the case, we might look at maybe 16 and 17. But for the moment, we're going to concentrate on getting questions 8, 11, 12 and 15 done. Okay, I'll see you in the live class soon.